Cool. Now, just like my Ace is Alive video, I expect a lot of dislikes because these videos, when it comes to Yonkos and Admirals and debating their power, yeah, you're gonna get a lot of hate because there's two sides of the argument. And honestly, I try to be unbiased when it comes to these two groups, the Yonko and the Admirals. And today I'm gonna do a whole video discussing and analyzing, and then I'll tell you guys my opinion at the end of the video. So if you actually want to know what I see, how I see the Yonko and Admiral after all the evidence I show, then stay tuned to the end of the video. But I want to tell you guys right now, the consensus is that the Yonko are easily above the Admirals. And that's pretty much what the general fan base says. And that's the community. I'll tell you right now, back in the day, I used to be arguing with people saying that Whitebeard could destroy all three Admirals by himself, just to showcase how much of a Yonko tard, how much of a, I was obsessed with Whitebeard, the Yonkos, and I felt like the Admirals were, because they were kind of like, in Marine 4, the Admirals were our opposition, so I really didn't like the Admirals at that point, especially the situation that happened there. So I definitely feel like after rereading the series, rewatching the series, I changed my mindset, though I'm not going to tell you guys how I changed it until the end of the video. But I do want to say this, in Marine Ford, something that I really hit me when I reread this arc many times, the Admirals really did not show that much. Like, this Marine Ford was just a tease. Like, we really didn't see a lot of the characters show what they're capable of, and it's very understanding why they didn't really showcase what they're capable of, which I'll explain in this video. Now, let's talk about the Yonko. The Yonko are the 4 emperors in the New World. Now, you can't just say 4 Yonko, because Yonko actually means 4 emperors. Though that's how I believe. I could be wrong, though. In the New World, they are the strongest pirates, so you can't disrespect. Like, I was arguing with someone, they're like, yo, Doflamingo's stronger than Big Mom. I'm like, no, the Yonko are the 4 strongest pirates, okay? They're the 4 strongest pirates. Put some respect on the Yonko's name. And they got mad territory, yo. Shanks, Kaido, Blackbeard, Big Mom, and rest in peace to Whitebeard, because he was a Yonko. We definitely have to see more of their power, and I feel like we're gonna see more of it, whether it's in a flashback, whether it's in a future battle that we're gonna see that's gonna be so hype. All I'm gonna tell you is this: the Yonko, we need more. Now we have the Admirals, and I'll tell you guys right now, the Admirals are the highest power in the Marines. Like, think about it, yo. The 3 Admirals, they always say the Warlords, the 3 Admirals, and the Yonko are for the balance of the world. And that just showcases, because we know the Warlords, they're not really, there's a bunch of notorious pirates in there. There's some that are really strong, some that are alright, but the Admirals and the Yonko, both groups have strong characters. There's no alright characters in these groups. So the Admirals with the highest power in the Marines, and I definitely gotta say that the pre-time skip Admirals, they were OP hacked Logia ability users. The fact that they're all Logia, when I'm talking about the pre-time skip Admirals, when it comes to Akainu, Fujitoro, I'm not Fujitoro, I'm just talking about Aokiji and Kizaru, all these cats were Logia users. And the fact that it was not just because they were Logia users. We've seen Logia users like Crocodile and Anel, but the fact that they're Logia users and can actually use great haki. I remember there was a moment where Whitebeard did a slash to try to break something, and he was doing some crazy damage with his Devil Fruit, and out of nowhere, all 3 Admirals put their hand up with their haki and just reflected. Wow, these guys have great Devil Fruit abilities with their Logia, their rare fruit, and then they also have great haki. It's very crazy. And then we have to add the post-time skip Admirals, Fujitora and Green Bull, and we've seen what Fujitora was doing in Dressrosa, and he's the first Admiral that, like, well, I can't really say first Admiral, but he does not have a Logia Devil Fruit ability, and I would assume that Green Bull will not also have a Logia Devil Fruit ability. But these guys, these Admirals are legit. Yeah, they're tall and they're strong. Now, let's look at Marine Ford, because I want to tell you guys the truth. I'm not trying to look at Marine Ford too much, like too heavy, because it's, like I said, a lot of the characters, a lot of the top tier characters really didn't show how strong they were. But I do want to say this: Whitebeard, who was a Yonko, now a lot of people have some asterisks on his Yonko position, and when he was at Marine Ford, he went at Akainu, he went at the Admiral Akainu, he went at the Admiral Aokiji, and they actually went at Whitebeard too. So it was Akainu, Aokiji, Kizaru did actually attempt to fight and did not really seem fearful of Whitebeard. So that was a big sign that I was like, okay, the Admirals, these guys are definitely strong, very strong characters. They should not be fearful. But then we also have in Marine Ford characters like Jozu, Marco, Ace, and these characters were also fighting Admirals. So you see the head honcho Yonko fighting the Admirals, and then you see the Yonko commanders fighting the Admirals, and it just made everyone confused on how strong the Admirals were, yo. So I gotta tell you guys this, my thoughts is this: Whitebeard, he was sick, and that's the one of the asterisks. He was sick. We all know that he was sick. I remember there was a moment in which Squardo actually damaged Whitebeard, and like Marco was so shocked, like he should have been able to dodge that. So Whitebeard was definitely sick, and he was also of old age. We can't forget about that. That's one of the other asterisks. He was an old man. He was not in his prime. And I think the final asterisk I had to put on Whitebeard was he was kind of injured when he was at the end of the war, because think about it. Look at how much damage Whitebeard took in that. Like, he was just tanking all these hits, yo. And I'm thinking about, like, okay, a lot of times the Admirals would use their Loki abilities to get away from hits, but like, yo, Whitebeard was tanking a lot of hits. It just made me think, yeah, there's a lot of asterisks when it comes to Marineford and Whitebeard as a character. Now, the first battle I want to talk about, yes, I said I was going to talk about Marineford too much, but I have to talk about the main battles, and I got to talk about Akainu, Sakazuki, the Red Dog versus Whitebeard. And I got to say this right now, Akainu, yo, he never seemed flustered against Whitebeard. There was a moment where he got his ass beat, but he never ever seemed like he was flustered. And there was even points where he was mocking Whitebeard, like, and then we see Whitebeard mocking him back. They were insulting each other, and it just showcased that Akainu was very confident in his ability. Now, I think one of the greatest feats Akainu has is actually, well, a lot of anime onlys didn't really know this because the manga and the anime actually censored this from the manga, but in the actual manga Marineford, Akainu takes off half of Whitebeard's face with his magma, and it's just like, what? First of all, that's a feat for Akainu, taking off half of what this guy is known as the strongest man. He took off half of his face. Now, I did say there was asterisks on Whitebeard, but that's also a feat for Whitebeard. Half of his face was taken out and he's still fighting. It just showcases the craziness of these two monsters going at it. Now, we also got to bring up moments like where Akainu puts his magma in Whitebeard's stomach, and it just showcases the sickness of Whitebeard. Whitebeard was definitely not 100%, and Akainu was, there's moments where Akainu was easily getting over Whitebeard, but then we also have moments where Whitebeard will use his rage and just destroy Akainu, and that was the moment when Whitebeard destroyed Akainu with that anger of Ace dying. Everybody's like, okay, Akainu's weak, Whitebeard destroyed him, don't even compare these two characters. But I'm gonna tell you guys right now, in the manga, it's actually a little bit different than the anime. You actually can defend Akainu in the manga than in the anime. In the anime, Whitebeard comes up behind Akainu is so scared, and Whitebeard beats him up easily, destroying him. In the manga, we see Whitebeard actually, Akainu's not even scared. Whitebeard doesn't even like stand over him like that. Whitebeard just runs and hits him right away. No waiting, just hits him right away. So you could say that Whitebeard actually jumped Akainu and made him at a disadvantage, but he still whooped Akainu's ass. And Akainu did get some shots in when Whitebeard was raging, but Whitebeard destroyed him. And a lot of people have their thoughts on that big old battle. Now, I think one of the most important moments of Marineford is Akainu Whitebeard is one of the most important fights, but the aftermath. Akainu gets destroyed by Whitebeard, and he seems like he seems like he's bleeding a little bit. He seems a little bit roughed up, but he just got a beating from Whitebeard. You should be in a wheelchair. He actually goes and fights all the Whitebeard commanders. Yes, Marco, Vista, all these characters he's fighting, and Crocodile was there too. Oh my goodness, yo! Like, these moments just make me look like Akainu. Like, his durability is amazing. The fact that he took Whitebeard's hits and he just looks a little bit roughed up. We also have moments where Marco and Vista were trying to damage him with haki, and they weren't able to, making Akainu look superior. And this is why a lot of people, and Akainu right now post time skip is the Fleet Admiral, so he is the strongest Marine right now. A lot of people like to argue Garp. That's a whole nother video in itself. But Akainu, yeah, these feats were Oda showing you the greatness of Akainu, and we know Oda in the interview, the guy who made One Piece, said that Akainu would find the One Piece in 1 year. So a lot of respect that Oda gives to Akainu, and the manga for Marineford gives Akainu a lot of clout. Now, a mini fight, nothing really huge that you can really take anything out of it, was a moment where Kizaru was fighting Whitebeard. This is when Whitebeard took a lot of damage. He was sick, he was old, and Kizaru was kind of trolling Whitebeard. Now, Whitebeard did slash him one time, but Kizaru was giving lasers in his chest. It didn't really seem like Whitebeard was fast enough to even go against Kizaru. Now, I definitely feel like Whitebeard even if Whitebeard was old age and he was 100%, I think he could give it to Kizaru. But this moment, a lot of Kizaru fanboys took this moment and ran away with it. And it's one of their defenses why Admirals should be on the level of the Yonko. It's one of their defenses. I'm not gonna tell you my opinion until the end of the video. I told you guys already. I'm just laying out the facts. Now, another huge moment in the Marineford arc is Aokiji versus Whitebeard. Now, Aokiji had multiple clashes with Whitebeard. The first clash is when he froze Whitebeard Tsunami, and then Whitebeard, he tried to throw those arrows, ice arrows to Whitebeard, and Whitebeard easily took them out and brought Aokiji to the ground, in which Aokiji freezes the water, giving a surface for all the pirates and Marines to fight. That was a cool moment in the beginning. But the one I really want to talk about is Aokiji versus Whitebeard and the Haki controversy. Whitebeard takes his weapon, I forgot the name of it, but it's such a sick name of it, and he stabs Aokiji, and everyone's like, yo, Aokiji got stabbed with the Haki, and everyone thought Aokiji was about to die because he just got stabbed with the Haki, and we know Whitebeard's armor Haki should be amazing. Yo, but think about it. Aokiji actually evades the Whitebeard Haki attack. Now, some people say that, he just did, his Haki was strong enough to evade it. I definitely disagree. I don't think the Akainu versus Marco and Vista and Aokiji versus Whitebeard thing is the same thing. It's much different because Aokiji actually explains what he's doing. He says, no, I'm not dead. And you see behind him, his ice is rotating. So he actually manipulated his Delphood. That's him manipulating his Delphood. With Akainu, he just took the slash his head on, he tanked it. Aokiji actually manipulated his Delphood so he could evade the Whitebeard Haki imbued attack, and that's just my thoughts on the subject. A lot of people disagree, that's how I see it. Now, a moment in which a lot of people who say that the Yonkos are easily above the Admirals is Ben Beckman and Kizaru. Yes, I'm talking about that moment in which Ben Beckman sells Kizaru. It was the knock it off. Kizaru's like, oh, Ben Beckman. Now, a right-hand man to a Yonko intimidating an Admiral, this should showcase easily that the Admirals are not the Yonko level. Now, I personally feel like this moment is not, you can't take it that huge because, first of all, Kizaru, like 1 second later, goes and attacks, and Ben Beckman was like, oh, he still attacked. So Ben Beckman knew that Kizaru was trolling at the beginning. So that's a moment in which a lot of people like to ignore, but it did happen. Now, I do think that Ben Beckman is a right-hand man to Shanks. And when it comes to right-hand mans like Marco, we've seen Ben Beckman. We haven't, I couldn't name others, but Rayleigh is a right-hand man to Goldie Roger, Zoro to Luffy. The right-hand man and the captain, there is a difference in strength, but it's kind of close, if you guys noticed that. So I just want to say Ben Beckman, I respect his power, but this moment a lot of people like to use to make the Admirals look trash. Now, I gotta talk about Fujitora. Yes, Fujitora, one of the recent new Admirals. And I gotta tell you guys right now, the reason why I think Fujitora is so hacks and so strong, in which a lot of people think that he's weak because of Dressrosa, look at Fujitora. He got the Admiral position without any fruit. They gave him the Admiral spot without any fruit. That's just so crazy. And to add to the fact that they gave him a fruit right after he became an Admiral in the Hacks Gravity fruit, oh my gosh. So Fujitora's power, it boggles me how much he didn't really showcase in Dressrosa. We know that he was really slack and he was just chilling in Dressrosa. And he could have ended Luffy and the Grand Fleet's journey. Never forget that. Fujitora could have ended Luffy and the Grand Fleet's journey. And I definitely feel like he's very powerful. Now, when it comes to Greenbow, who knows? We haven't really seen nothing from Greenbow. I do have a whole video planned on Greenbow, so I'm not going to say too much, but I definitely feel like he should be on the same level as Fujitora and the other Admirals, to be honest. Now, a moment that actually you have to give some respect to the people who say the Yonkos are easily above the Admirals. I give some respect to this because this is actually a cool moment. It's when Shanks stopped the war. And I'm not just saying because he stopped the war. It's adding to the fact that he stopped Akaino's attack. Now, some people say Akaino's attack was for Kobe. He wasn't really putting a lot into it, but he actually stopped Akainu. And now, the only character in Marineford that was able to stop Akainu with Haki was Whitebeard. So we see a character known as Shanks also stop Akainu with his sword imbued with Haki. And we know Shanks a lot of people see him as the Haki master. This is a very interesting situation, and a lot of people like to say that Shanks is one of the strongest characters. We know Shanks, the clash with Whitebeard, a lot of people will give respect to that. When Whitebeard's the strongest man, he clashed with him and actually going and stopping Kaido, which we do not know all the details, so don't run away with that. But Shanks stopping Akainu, yeah, you definitely gotta give some respect to that. Yo, that's my boy Shanks. Yo, that's my boy. No bias, no bias. Now Kaido is the strongest creature alive. that should just put, a lot of people say this should just give a huge hint that Kaido is easily above every single admiral, even Akainu. Yeah, he's the strongest creature alive. He's above everybody. Now, a lot of people have been debating this. I actually made a video on this character, and I'll probably make a video in the future about his power, because a lot of people like to debate this, though I do think there's some asterisks when it comes to Kaido. We've seen a lot of defeats. I'll talk about it in another video, but I do have a controversial opinion on Kaido's strength, but still, he's the strongest creature alive. Oda said it, bruh. Give that respect to him as one of the Yonkos. Now, Big Mom, and also a character who I gotta talk about. Now, this is probably a mini spoiler, so if you're an anime only, mute the video for the next 15 seconds. I'm not even gonna put a spoiler alert, just mute it for the next 15 seconds. I'll say it really fast. Big Mom went at it with Roger back in the day, and now we know why she was so emphasis on Whitebeard. She probably fought a prime Whitebeard back in the day. That just gives me a lot of respect for Big Mom, and she's very powerful. And in these recent manga arc, yeah, she's been putting in work. I gotta give some respect to Charlotte Linlin, Big Mom. And then we have another Yonko named Marshall D. Teach Blackbeard. Now, a lot of people like to say, yo, Blackbeard they bring so much arguments pre-time skip. Just to name a few: the Magellan situation, the Edward Newgate Whitebeard just wrecking him when he was already done situation, the Akainu coming in, Blackbeard running away situation. A lot of people like to bring up these situations, but I like to tell them, this is not when Blackbeard was recognized as a Yonko. Blackbeard was recognized as a Yonko when he took down Marco overwhelmingly. He took down Marco and the remnant Whitebeard pirates overwhelmingly, and that's when he was recognized as a Yonko. So definitely Blackbeard has increased his power, and you gotta get that respect. He's the only man to have 2 fruits, yo. Just respect that man, Blackbeard. Now, I've been saying this a lot of times, yo. I've been debating back and forth if I should just stop with the whole Yonko level thing, Admiral level thing, and just make it a top tier thing. Sometimes I get huge evidence to showcase that I should just continue doing Yonko level and Admiral level, and sometimes I say, oh man, I should just make a top tier. But I think that's so important for me to see was in Dressrosa 2 moments. At the beginning of Dressrosa, Don Chinjao mentions that, oh, you want to become Pirate King? You think you can go at it with the Yonko and the Admirals? And he groups these 2 groups that we're talking about today in this video, which is very interesting for me personally. And then we have Luffy saying that I'm not going to run away to Fujitora, I'm not going to run away from the Yonko and the Admirals. Luffy even groups the Admirals and Yonko in the same sentence. So these moments kind of made me think, should I just call it top tier, even though I do side with more of the Yonko? But it's a very interesting moment. Now I'm going to talk about this character really quick. His name is Monkey D. Dragon. And Monkey D. Dragon, for me personally, he's the leader of the Revolutionary Army, the most wanted man. I have him with the Yonkos. So this just showcases that if I have Monkey D. Dragon with the Yonkos are not alone as the strongest characters. I have Dragon with them. I also gotta mention Dracula Mihawk, the strongest swordsman in the world. A lot of people are debating if he's with the Yonkos, if he's with the Admirals. Me personally, I said it right now that he's in an area which I don't think he's stronger than every Yonko, but I feel like he can fight every Yonko. So it's a really, really tough place to say. Though I do think if you put him at Yonko level, I would. If you put him, I almost went crazy there. If you put him at Yonko level, I won't get mad. And honestly, he's like, if he's not on Yonko level, he's just there, so close. So gotta give respect to Dracula Mihawk. And then there's Sengoku and Garp, and these are the old OGs of the Marines. And I definitely feel like you have to give that respect to put them on that level of the Yonko level. Like, come on, man. These guys were fighting with like crazy prime Whitebeard and Rogers back in the day, yo. So I definitely feel like you should put them on the level of the Yonko. And as you see, a lot of characters I'm putting with the Yonko. So let's see my answer for the question at hand. Now, can an Admiral, can we put them an Admiral above a Yonko? Or can we put the Admiral even on the same equal level of a Yonko? Now, this is my answer. For me personally, I have the Yonko above the Admirals. So yes, I'm gonna get a lot of dislikes for just even arguing the whole situation on both sides. I'm gonna get dislikes, but as you heard my opinion, if you saw the end of the video, you heard me say that I have the Yonkos above the Admirals. But I do want to say this: the Fleet Admiral Akainu, I have them equal, around the same level with the Admirals. And I also gotta say this: Aokiji, Kizaru, Fujitora, I can put them right under the Yonko, and like honestly, it's probably maybe the same situation as Mihawk, though I do give Mihawk a little bit more of a push because he's the greatest swordsman, such a great, and I think that Zoro is going to be Yonko level at the end of the story, so he has to defeat a character who is Yonko level, which I think is Mihawk. So Mihawk, I might put him with Kainu, Dragon, those characters in the Yonko level, but Aokiji, Kizaru, Fujitora, Green Bull, I had them right under the Yonko, and that's why I have to say that the Yonko are above the Admirals. Just my thoughts on the subject, though I do respect the people who love the Admirals, and there's a huge debate. You see those Marine, just search up any Marineford video. I think the most popular one is Shanks stopping the war, and you'll see crazy people arguing Admirals and Yonkos. It's really fun to watch. I read a lot of them. Back in the day, I used to be a part of those threads. Yo, it was hectic, very hectic. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section. Tell me what you think about this whole video. Oh man, I talked for a long time. I'm kind of exhausted.